Welcome to video number 230, and this is lecture number 4, which is based on unemployment and inflation in a series of lectures on introductory macroeconomics. In today's lecture, we will discuss unemployment and inflation as macroeconomic measures. The question is, who counts in unemployment? The first category of workers are discouraged workers who have stopped looking for employment due to the lack of suitable positions available, so they are counted in unemployment. Then out of the labor force, people, those who are not working and not looking for a job, whether they want employment or not, also termed not in the labor force. Similarly, underemployed individuals who are employed in a job but that job is below their skills, they are also counted as unemployed. Unemployed are those who are currently working for pay at the prevailing wage rate. Unemployed, out of work and actively looking for a job. Out of the labor force, out of paid workforce, and are not actively looking for job. Labor force, that is the number of employed plus unemployed. How to calculate unemployment rate? Let me start with labor force participation rate. This is the percentage of adults in an economy who are either employed or who are unemployed and looking for a job. Unemployment rate is the percentage of adults who are in the labor force and thus seeking jobs but who don't have jobs. And the formula for the unemployment rate is unemployed people divided by total labor force multiplied by 100. This is the historical US unemployment. Unemployment rates do fluctuate over time. Unemployment rates in the late 90s and into the mid 2000s were rather low by historical standard. The unemployment rate never falls all the way to zero, and the timing of rises and falls in the unemployment matches fairly well with the timing of upswings and downswings in the overall economy. No significant upward or downward trend in unemployment rates is apparent. Cyclical unemployment. In a labor force market with flexible wages, the equilibrium will occur at wage WE and quantity QE, where the number of people looking for a job, that is shown by supply curve, and that is equal to the number of jobs available shown by the demand curve for labor. So equilibrium in the labor market occurs at the wage rate where the quantity of labor demanded equals the quantity of labor supplied. Cyclical unemployment, why wages may be sticky downward. If employees reduce wages for all workers, the best workers will leave. Cyclical unemployment, unemployment closely tied to the business cycle, like higher unemployment during a recession. So cyclical unemployment means employment which occurs due to business cycle. Efficiency wage theory, the theory that the productivity of workers either individually or as a group will increase if they are paid more. Implicit contract, this is an unwritten agreement in the labor market that the employer will try to keep wages from falling when the economy is weak or the business is having trouble, and the employee will not expect huge salary increases when the economy or the business is strong. Insider-outsider model. Those already working for the firm are insiders who know the procedures. The other workers are outsiders who are recent or prospective hires. Relative wage coordination argument. Across the board, wage cuts are hard for an economy to implement and workers fight against them. Frictional and structural unemployment. Unemployment that occurs as workers move between jobs is known as frictional unemployment. Natural rate of unemployment, the employment rate that would exist in a growing and healthy economy from the combination of economic, social, and political factors that exist at a given time, the sum of frictional plus structural unemployment. So the sum of frictional and structural unemployment is known as the natural rate of employment. And structural unemployment means the unemployment that occurs because individuals lack skills valued by employers. The natural rate of employment includes only frictional and structural unemployment and not cyclical unemployment. Related to two other important concepts, full employment and potential real GDP. Unexpected shifts in the productivity can have a powerful effect on the natural rate of unemployment. On the supply side of the labor market, public policies to assist the unemployed can affect how eager people are to find work. On the demand side of the labor market, government rules, social institutions, and the presence of unions can affect the willingness of the firms to hire. The underlying economic, social, and political factors that determine the natural rate of employment can change over time. Number one, the internet has provided a remarkable new tool through which job seekers can find out about jobs at different companies and can make contact with relative ease. The growth of the temporary worker industry has probably helped to reduce the natural rate of unemployment. The aging of the baby boom generation. Hyperinflation is extremely high rate of inflation, that is, it is in the hundreds and thousands % per year. And inflation is a general and ongoing rise in the level of prices in the economy. Calculating inflation with index numbers. In index numbers they use base year, and then index numbers is a unit-free measure of an economic indicators. Index numbers are based on a value of 100, which makes it easy to measure percentage change. Inflation rate is the percentage change in some price index. Market basket, this is hypothetical collection of goods and services. Consumer typically buy price indices, essentially the weighted average of prices of a certain type of good and services. Price indices are created to calculate inflation rate, that is, the percent change in the prices over time. And price level means the average of prices. A price index is essentially the weighted average of prices of a certain type of goods and services. Price indices can measure a narrow range of goods and services or a broader range of goods and services. Price indices are created to help calculate the percent change in the prices over time. The consumer price index is the average price of the goods and services typically purchased by urban consumers. The 8 major categories in the consumer price index are food and beverages, housing, apparel, transportation, medical care, recreation, education and communication, and other goods and services. Shortcomings of the consumer price index as a measure of the cost of living. Core inflation index, version of the consumer price index excluding volatile economic components like energy and food prices. The other shortcoming includes improved quality or new goods bias, as the quality of goods improves over time. As the new goods become invented, the prices of those goods naturally increase, reflecting their increased value. The result is that the CPI overstates the cost of living, since some of the price increases it measures represent increases in the value, not cost. Substitution bias. As one good or service becomes more expensive relative to others, consumers tend to substitute away from the more expensive item towards the cheaper item, and this means that the weights used to calculate CPI are no longer accurate, causing the CPI to overstate the cost of living. Another shortcoming is a core inflation index, which is typically calculated by taking CPI and excluding volatile economic variables. The cost of living represents how much it costs for a person to feel that his or her consumption provides an equal level of satisfaction or utility. Substitution bias tends to overstate the rise in the consumer's true cost of living. The CPI tends to understate consumers' standard of living as measured by nominal income divided by CPI. The GDP deflator and other major price indices. Employment cost index, estimate of the average cost of labor compensation to employers, including wages, salaries, and fringe benefits. GDP deflator is price index which measures The average price of all goods and services included in GDP used to convert nominal into real GDP. A producer price index is based on prices paid for supplies and inputs by producers of goods and services, and the formula for calculating real GDP from nominal GDP is given by that real GDP is equal to nominal GDP divided by GDP deflator. The GDP deflator goes by several names such as the implicit price deflator for GDP, the GDP price index, but they all mean price index which is used to convert nominal into real GDP. Producer price index can be broken down into price indices for different industries, commodities, and stages of processing like finished goods, intermediate goods, crude materials for further processing, and so on. There are some problems with inflation: a defined contribution retirement program to which the employee and often employee contribute, nominal interest rate, the actual interest rate charged on a loan, pension, a defined benefit, retirement payment, real interest rate, the interest rate after inflation is taken into account, the nominal interest rate minus the rate of inflation. Inflation can cause three types of problems: blood price signals, unintended redistribution of purchasing power, and difficulties in long-term planning. Unintended redistribution of purchasing power. People who are hurt by inflation include those who are holding a lot of cash. When inflation happens, the buying power of cash is diminished. Cash is only an example of a more general problem. Anyone who has financial assets invested in a way that the nominal return does not keep up with inflation will tend to suffer from inflation. Benefits of low inflation. An annual inflation rate of 2% up to 4% is a long way from a national crisis. If variability in inflation rates is a problem, then moderate and high inflations are more likely to have significant variability than are low inflations. Low inflation is also better than deflation, which occurs with severe recessions. Moderate inflation may help the economy by making wages in labor markets more flexible. Some quick review. These are the questions that I tried to discuss in this presentation, so which constitutes a quick review. There are some more quick reviews. We just discussed that. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for watching this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly do subscribe to it, and do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you can get notification about my other useful videos that I'll upload for you. Kindly do share this channel and videos with your friends, colleagues, so that they can get benefit from watching these videos. Thank you, and have a good afternoon. See you in another video.